The front row, the Grazzini riders, Jeremy Alvaro after a big crash this morning in the warm-up. He starts from 8th, headed to Pasquet. Antonelli, Toba and Artigas go from the 4th. Sasaki and Carlos Tataya on row 6. Sasaki, of course, crashed out of podium places on the last lap last weekend. Cooney, Kothler and Izdihar, Nepa, Foggia, Rossi and Onju. So quite an unusual way to kick off this Qatar Grand Prix.
What the rider has to do to win the race out in that wind tonight.
Yeah, Moto3 with the wind is always a step stronger compared all the rest, but also I saw Migno this weekend very fast, and Zia is very strong.
Thank you and best of luck in your race this evening.
Yeah, thanks very much to Marco Bezzecchi.
Has been strong this weekend. He did top Q1 and then put up a strong fight for the front row as well last night. Some interesting Dunlop tyre in the field that have gone for the soft Dunlop rear tyre. Now, not a great surprise from Fenati. He does tend to do that on a regular basis.
In this 18-lap race, it's 23-degree air temperature as we're ready to get going here, and 28 on track.
The opening night belonging to KTM, and in particular the Red Bull KTM IO team. The 1-2 for Massey and Acosta, the first for KTM. Repeat of that, although Acosta with a lot of work to do from a pit lane start, although Sergio Garcia has had great pace all week, often does in Moto3. Do not discount the likes of Garcia. Fenati and Foggia have also had pretty good race paces.
And Garcia and a couple of others have clubbed together and said we need to work together once pit lane opens.
I think Garcia, he went to Foggia.
Just hope that they make a safe exit out of pit lane. That's the most important thing. Once the last bike goes past them. Out to get underway, lights out. Good start from Rodrigo, good start from Massey on pole as well. Suzuki, number 24, is coming through.
I've been there as well. Here are the Magnificent Seven then charging from the pit lane start, led by Sergio Garcia at the moment already.
Yeah, Suzuki in 3rd place. Good start from him as well. Migno's still up inside the top
to get temperature in that soft rear tyre. This is aggressive and hard charging from Binder already. There's no way back for Rodrigo at Turkley.
Yeah, they have a lot of work to do, and you know, that's the price you have to pay for the penalty.
They need this to be a big carb lane. These are the 21 riders that started on the grid.
There is Jaume Massey, not the greatest of starts from the world.
Bike was weaving, wasn't it, on the run down to that first corner. He's the heaviest and tallest guy, Steve said, so not traditionally going to get the best launches off the
tabs on that one as Binder still leads. Number 40, there's a move from number 16, Migno, up the inside of Tatsuki Suzuki.
Yeah,
getting towards the end of this first lap and across the line, it will be Darren Binder who will lead, but it's now time to get into slipstream. 4 riders last week.
Yeah, at some stage in the race, he's going to have to do that double long lap penalty. Artigas, that's Kaito Toba. What a slip.
Really, really good job from Kaito Toba. It's a Japanese 1-2 here in Moto3. Here are the 7 riders then.
Yeah, now the last thing those guys, Tatsuki Suzuki, Binder retaliates quickly on Toba through turn 4. Nicely done.
Yeah, it looks like Onju got to the front of
penalty, isn't it? Yeah.
Blimey.
He's got to do 2 of those after his indiscretion right there in the race last weekend when he took out Migno.
One then from Tatsuki Suzuki, then Darren Binder. Rodrigo is in 4th, and then it's Migno, Antonelli and Massey, and now he's dropped 10. John McPhee's still got to get his gloves off. He's 11th at the moment, but 1 place ahead of Ayumi Sasaki. Now remember, Sasaki's
decided coming into this Grand Prix. Sasaki, again though, quite confident with a good start and an aggressive first couple laps. He could get himself into.
There is Darren Binder trying to find a way through on Tatsuki Suzuki. Again, he moves up into 2nd place. Nice move.
We won't be slipstreaming Kaito Toba on this lap. The Japanese man's got a good 10 to a dozen bike lengths, although here comes that little bit late on the brakes. We know that Binder is the latest braker in this Moto3 field, and that strength really.
Garcia though just goes straight into the side of one of the snipers' bikes. It was Migno. Contact
up a little bit.
The guys who started from pit lane through the last split were 7.9 seconds down. They need to try and... Oof, that was the reason why John McPhee lost a bit of ground.
Well, he went down there at turn 6.
P17 after that. So, Binder it is that leads from Kaito Toba. There's the 20th place.
He's had a real strong start to this Doha Grand Prix on lap 3 in P3.
Toba then, the door was open there from Darren Binder, and through he goes on his CIP Green Power KTM number.
They've already rubbed once on this lap, so that was nicely done into the final corner on the brakes, just pinching the inside line. In the braking zone for the first corner, yes he is, but look at Salach as well, look at the slipstream he got too. He's going to lead into turn 1.
Further back there is Andy Izdihar. Lorenzo Fallon, this is much better from the French rider. The
behind Izdihar, 9.8 off your race leader, so there's still an awful lot of work to do for those 7 pits.
Again, look at these guys through turn 6. Chopping, changing elbows, exceeding track limits as well. That was just
penalties.
Board with the South African Darren Binder, looking up ahead to Argentina's Gabriel Rodrigo. He is, much like Alcoba, one of the heavier and taller riders in this Moto3 class.
This has got to be the first time that we've seen through to 13th place, but his Grand Prix career not littered with too many top 10s. 34 appearances, just 4 top.
In from the number 12, he leads from Tatsuki Suzuki. Rodrigo, Darren Binder thinking about a move. He's just
waiting a while for it. He's waited 35 Grand Prix. He's made me wait for that one.
This is what happens to Slipstream on the start-finish straight, 1 kilometre long, on turn 1.
Incredible action from Moto3 yet again in the braking zone for that first corner.
Yeah, that's excellent work from the
lovely.
number 31 there.
And he got Antonelli there through turn 3. That was brave and bold.
But he's now in this group and in the pack, hunting for a podium. This Moto3 field ahead of Masia, who slowly but surely, Matt, is finding his way to the front.
Yeah, as Marco Bezzecchi said, pre-run that KTM machine. Of course, he did ride a KTM a couple of years ago, then switched to the Leopard Honda. His championship challenge didn't really materialise.
To different pit lane, the gap's now come down to 5.38. That's largely down to the fact that they've allowed Pedro
the race or to the front of this group.
So that was so close between Philip Salac and Darren Binder. How there wasn't contact.
So there are the lead 4, the quartet that are broken away from that group of 7 pit lane starters.
Gosh, these guys are hammering it down the start-finish straight, cutting off the nose of Gabriel Rodrigo. Was Andre
Stefano Neppa's just fired in yet another best lap of the race, a 2:06.232.
So it's going round the outside. That's brilliant from the World Championship leader. He moves back up into 4th place.
Yeah, that's the seeing them is one thing, getting on to the back of them is a completely different story.
Behind him and Garcia, number 11.
The pace certainly picked up at the front on that last lap. The top 8 men all did their personal best.
Front of this one, the rookie. Then it's Tatsuki Suzuki. Behind Suzuki is Antonelli and then Sasaki.
Well, we got accustomed to seeing
so many brothers in arms in Grand Prix racing at the moment.
Phillips, not an easy man to overtake. Salac, Mino can't find a way through. Oh, that was tight. Very tight.
Rodrigo.
Liverpool Snipers 1-2 at the moment. Salac leads Mino. I don't think that's going to be lasting for too much longer. With
fantastic racing as ever in Moto3. Someone's really wide.
Oh, and what about the tight run that Toba could carry? The tight line that Toba, the first couple of corners, he's back in second.
Brilliant move there from Adrian Fernandez. Up the inside of Darren Binder. They're all going on here in Moto3, and there's still lots of life left in it. 12 laps to go. Andrea Mino it is that leads.
Yeah. And this is just now is only 6.8 seconds away from what was the race leader, Philip Salac.
This is a replay then of them heading.
His front brake protector came off and he was nearly over the bars there. His front brake caught Darren Binder. Those two were so close to going over the bars there.
The gap now down to 1.5 seconds. Acosta is almost in touch with 27, the race winner here from a few years ago. Race winner from Sunday in 3rd, Jaume Masia. There is Koffler, number 73, with them. Fanati now leads that group ahead of Pedro Acosta.
Yeah, team boss Peter Oertel of the Max race. Is he going to burn up that soft rear tyre which he chose? Binder and McPhee also chose that front tyre. Toba, there's no way through on Meanwell,
who's just moved into the top 6 momentarily from 17th on the grid. On board now then with Jaume Masia 6, but don't discount the Scotsman.
Yeah, John McPhee not really making any significant soft tyre, Steve.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking, really wide there from Philip Salac. You don't want to do that too many times. So, Andrea Mino, with just a 1 race win to his name, that epic day a few years ago, Fallon, and Pedro Acosta, who was second here 7 days ago. Somewhat wide, shall we say?
Yeah, we don't need the curb sensor to pick that one out, exceeding the track limits. Back at there's Binder, of course, as well, who's also going to be wary about exerting that soft rear tyre too much at this stage. It's a long way
from Binder. These guys go across the line. Jaume Masia trying to retake the lead of this race. Mino it is across the line, who will lead, and they're kicking off.
Kaita Toba, Salac, he picks up Rodrigo in the first corner. No mercy there from the Czech man.
Ahead of John McPhee. Oh, a front end moment there for Ethan Guevara. He won't want another fall.
Yeah, a bit twitchy. He was down heavy this morning at into turn 5.
Yes, he was starting from pit lane, but it's been another disappointing day. Masia just going onto the AstroTurf there, kicking up all of the dust, looking over to his...
It absolutely pinned though, didn't he?
Of course he did. Of course he did. 10 laps remain up into the lead. There was a move there. That looked like Jaume Masia, was it? Just making up another place.
There's not going to be a way through for Salac into turn 15. The concertina up now, and it's going to be all about the slipstream yet again. Keeps finding those very, very tiny gaps into turn 16, doesn't he, Jaume Masia?
He looked right over there.
Here, alarming regularity. Look at that, 8-9 abreast in the braking zone for the first corner. Scary.
Shoulder on the exit of turn 16 really has cost him. 9 laps remain.
Got big sharp elbows, hasn't he?
Yeah, the biggest of them all in this class. Good move at the front from Salac again.
Turn 6 from John McPhee, wasn't able to find a way through. Acosta 5.5 seconds behind your race leader. Those three have been quite smart actually. They've not decided to make any kind of move on Acosta. He's got the speed to drag them back into...
Enough time for them to get some big points. Philip Salac, number 12, never had a Grand Prix podium. In 3rd place, never had a race win in Moto3. Further back there is Koffler, there is Acosta, Finati.
At the front, they can just run their pace, run their rhythm. It will change completely when they do get in this group. That's when it's going to get a little bit hard.
There will be 8 laps to go across the line.
Toba's not been great at defending position in that final corner.
Wow.
Is that getting squeezed? Oh, it's the 2 Petronas Sprinter Racing boys that looked like they had close contact. It was Binder that got hung out to dry. Out wide. John McPhee had the inside line. There was no way that Binder could turn in. That's super tight as well, isn't it, between...
Piece of the action here. This is a Royal Rumble. There's no team orders going on anywhere.
Here comes Alcoba up the inside of Sasaki.
Led across the line. Now watch his teammate as well. There's hardly any room for anyone.
This race needs to be put that. Oh, dearie me. There was Binder going out towards the white paint on the outside. That's what cost him a bunch of places through turn 2.
Alcoba it is that leads.
Yeah, and there's Acosta now about to jump all over the rear tyre of Max ahead of them. It's now down to 4.3 seconds. Acosta off the lead.
The entire points finishes at the moment. The top 50.
The final corner, he collected himself, thankfully.
On to the start-finish straight once more. Yeah, 7 laps to go.
And who knows what...
What's that, 10 bikes abreast heading into turn 1? This is crazy.
This is watching through your fingers, isn't it, this one?
If it's at all possible, they're closer into turn 1 there than they were on the opening lap.
And was that Acosta on the... here, and to play in the lead group. Garcia just said his fastest lap of the race. The fastest lap of the race, the 2:06.187.
It's too many times. Garcia, they're lunging.
Oh, contact.
First faller of the day we have, and it's Artigas.
Oh, well, that's racing and all the contact without somebody biting the dust.
Well, I'm surprised that we got this far, to be honest. 12 laps it's taken before the top 8, the Swiss rider.
It was in that turn 6 as well, where Garcia ran a really tight, aggressive line. He picked up his teammate Guevara.
Here, Artigas cannot get that bike going again. It is the race over. Leopard Honda have had a shocking couple of weeks here, isn't it? Or is it Antonelli?
No, it's Tatai. Tatai? What's he got against Leopard Honda this year? It was him that wiped out Foggia on penalty coming in Portimao. Tatai, the enemy of Leopard, that's for sure at the moment.
Try and recap. Honda is back in the top 5 again.
Where do you try and watch? There's so many battles raging through this. Salac is down.
Salac, after what was looking like being his best ever evening of Moto3 racing, he's gone out of the... 20 in this. It's so hard to call. Jaume Masia up the inside there of John McPhee.
Salac was having one of the best rides of his World Championship career, wasn't he?
He was trying to go around the outside of the Yumi with that.
Sasaki didn't deviate from his line at all. I think that's just a pure racing incident, nothing that Sasaki could do. There was certainly no...
That leads here with 6 laps to go. There is Pedro Acosta in 13th place.
Yeah, and the likes, I was just about to say, Steve, the like of them.
Simon.
You mentioned intent there. I can see Jaume Masia costing him a fair bit of time.
Yeah, absolutely, although Jaume Masia had a bit of form with that himself at the end of last.
Straight at Binder and Rodrigo rubbed.
Wow, it's hard there has got the slipstream as well, and he's moving up into 3rd.
And over the line, the top 20 men were covered by just 1.8 seconds.
So many of these riders as well hunting for their first ever Grand Prix podium. So, Toba it is that leads the
Moto3 Grand Prix. This is like a Tour de France peloton.
It really is. Oh, it's fantastic though. It's losing out there was Gabriel Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo and Binder, they've had their...
Further back there is Tatsuki Suzuki. We've not mentioned him too much in the last few laps. Nico Antonelli, number 20, the Sprinter Honda riders, 17 Binder, 40... Sorry, 17 McPhee, 40 Binder. Jaume Masia making his way now.
One here in Qatar, a long, long way to go. 4 laps in the corner for him to try and retain that lead position.
Because here comes Slipstream, and you can go from 9th to 1st into turn 1. Toba leads. There goes McPhee. He now leads for the first.
And McPhee's gone down again. Oh, John McPhee, how was your luck in 2021? And it's the 2 men of the heat at the moment, of course. The adrenaline still coursing through his veins, but I'm afraid to say one of our coolest customers in Moto3, John McPhee, Edwards, and there was nowhere for McPhee to go. Can you believe it? McPhee and Alcoba out again. They were wiped out by Artigas tight.
Things are getting a bit messy here.
Yeah, this is going to be now just a battle of survival.
Jaume Masia, Acosta is ahead of his teammate Jaume Masia. That is incredible. He started from pit lane.
McPhee reflects on this and looks back on it in the cold light of day. He'll have a lot of regrets about that. Of course, he's absolutely fuming.
Right. Not quite back tire, but there's contact. That you cannot blame Alcoba for that.
But McPhee can see it coming.
That nearly totally
understand in the heat of the moment his loss of cool. But we know John McPhee, so Jeremy Alcoba.
Absolutely right. Now let's just try and focus on this somehow. Into turn 1 we go with 3 laps remaining.
All the pin just thinking, I need to get out of here. I don't want all this trouble and chaos and carnage just unfolding around him.
Winning a race. Yamanaka having the ride of his life. He got his first World Championship points last week, number 6, the Prustal rider.
Action here in Qatar. And there's more drama still to come, isn't there? 2.5 laps to go. But Acosta, from a pit lane start, can still win this Doha Grand Prix.
Asia, the winner here last Sunday, leads. Further back there is Ryusei Yamanaka. Excellent stuff from him. He's just behind fellow Japanese. Dashboard. Second place, a brilliant ride so far from the experienced rider Andrea Migno.
Yeah, I mean, whether Alcoba just picked up that extra slipstream, it ran him into first corner, perhaps 5 or 6k. First 2 Grand Prix, already a massive hole in his championship charge.
2 laps to go. Masia leads, podium places, although squeezing him out is Darren Binder.
Acosta's front tyre there just about hung in there. It was absolutely...
There's a gap forming there behind Andrea Migno. Are the top 5 going to nudge themselves away? Antonelli is leading that
exceptionally well, but I don't think time management can come into the equation in a race like this. And here goes Acosta as he got up the inside of Binder. It was very
about these 5 in the closing stages of the penultimate lap of this Moto3 race here in Qatar. It has been
some talent, and he's through on Binder. Acosta up into 3rd place.
Incredible. Win it, Matt.
He could win it.
Half a second now behind Migno to Antonelli. Is that
Garcia? His heroic charge from the pit lanes come to grief and a premature ending. Rebel Katie Maiho had some heroics from the back. This would eclipse Binder's ride from the back of the pack, on the back of the grid in Jerez 2016. Pedro Acosta, he started.
Nico Antonelli is also there as well, number 23, as they now head into turn 1. It's Acosta who leads still.
9 seconds off the lead group, and on the last lap, he leads, and he's got the hammer down. He's already trying to put a bit of daylight between himself. Rookie sensation, not half. Can you believe what we're witnessing here in Qatar? Pedro Acosta in just his 2nd World. Migno there, that might be the end of Migno's podium challenge. In doing so, though, Masia lost all of his exit speed, and Rodrigo swept through. And Binder at the moment has got nothing for the incredible 16-year-old Pedro Acosta. Like frustration. Oh, dearie me, a touch there between Sasaki and Masia. Masia, right foot off the foot peg.
Well, it looks like
never seen anything quite like this. I've been in the paddock for a 1/4 of a century, 25 long years. This has been a true from the pit lane. Binder, though, he's brilliant on the front end of the final corner. It's going to be all about the slipstream. It's Acosta versus Binder.
It's been
Acosta's got it.
He's got it. Unbelievable. Binder's got it. Wow.
Acosta. What an unbelievable Grand Prix. We said he was a sensation last weekend on his debut. Truly remarkable Tissot Grand Prix of Doha. By 0.03 of a second, he started